Hi, this is Kim,
This is Andy.
and we're going to read to you from the Urantia book. But first, we have 365 Days Walking the Red Road by Terry Jean.
Today we hear from Cochise, a Chiricahua Apache tribal leader. You must speak straight so that your words may go as sunlight to our hearts.
Yeah, oh gosh, poetry, right? Cochise lived
That's
from, 18.
12 to 1874.
Yeah.
He was chief of the Chiricahua Apache and known for his intelligence and strategic strength. U.S. cavalry soldiers referred to him as the Serpent.
Ooh.
Yeah, a true leader.
Yeah.
And then from Tao Te Ching,
By Lao Tzu, translation by Ralph Allen Dale.
we have a plea for mutual humility,
Show me the picture, Andy.
shown a picture of the old ruins of a cathedral. In our era, when the great integrity has been lost, separate states have arisen. Some become very large, others remain very small. When the larger ones try to conquer the small, at first the smaller ones are defeated, even though yang aggression meets yang resistance. But death stalks the people on both sides of war. It is not better for great countries to be like vast, low-lying lands into which all streams passively go. And the smaller countries, like the innocent streams, can be welcomed at the end of their passage by wide open arms, calmly receiving their flow.
Mm-hmm.
Would not this mutual humility save countless lives now while serving as a rehearsal for the coming of the Tao? That's true today,
Turn the page.
where Russia has invaded Ukraine, and there's great loss on both sides.
We get this idea of like, okay, the big fish eating the little fish all the time. The big fish go and eat the little fish, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the biggest fish, and that's the prevalent model.
Mm-hmm.
But here they're saying, okay, so if you're a great country, wait in the low places here, and the little countries will come to you for protection.
Mm-hmm.
And because you're great. That's what greatness is.
Mm-hmm.
You wait with open arms for them to come to you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't go eat the little fish.
No.
Right?
Pretty soon all the little fish will be gone. But where there were little fish, then there will be uprisings of even smaller fish.
Right. Everybody will be mad about it.
They'll be lost on both sides.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to read the Urantia book.
Paper 41.
Paper 41. Not 40 anymore. And we are reading section 5 about solar radiation. I'll go just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That the suns of space are not very dense is proved by the steady streams of escaping light energies. To create a density would retain light. Oh, too great a density would retain light by opacity until the light energy pressure reached the explosion point. There is a tremendous light or gas pressure within a sun to cause it to shoot forth such a stream of energy as to penetrate space for millions upon millions of miles to energize light and heat the distant planets.
I think of the solar flares.
Right, because there's a lot of pressure inside there. 15 feet of surface of the density of Urantia. 15 feet of surface of the density of Urantia would effectually prevent the escape of all X-rays and light energies from a sun until the rising internal pressure of accumulating energies resulted from atomic dismemberment overcame gravity with a tremendous outward explosion. Okay, so you could put 15 feet of like rock
Mm-hmm.
around the sun, and that would prevent the escape of the X-rays and the
Mm-hmm.
light energies from a sun until it got so hot, so much pressure in there,
Mm-hmm.
until it exploded,
Mm-hmm.
overcame gravity with a tremendous explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, so this is like pretty intense. Can I have a drink here, thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, you go.
Light in the presence of the propulsive gases is highly explosive when confined at high temperatures by opaque retaining walls.
Okay, what is this? Light is highly explosive. What a thing.
Hmm.
Light in the presence of propulsive gases, okay, when there's, but you think of light as highly explosive.
Never thought of it that way.
Isn't that just wild?
Mm-hmm. When confined at high temperatures by opaque retaining walls, light is real. As you value energy and power on your world, sunlight would be economical at $1 million a pound.
Right? Okay, so they're talking about powering. You value
Well,
energy and power in your world. Sunlight.
all life on Earth is based on the sun, on the light from the
That's
sun.
such a weird sentence. So when you look at this here, sunlight would be economical at $1 million a pound. So they're talking about weighing sunlight,
Mm-hmm.
weighing it, and like selling it for energy. Well, we do that. We collect energy like solar panels, but that's not weighing it.
We try to quantify everything and
You
monetize
think,
everything.
but here they're saying you could
That's why
maybe
they're writing it that way.
they're writing that. Oh, because we're
That's how we think.
that's how we think.
Yep.
But I never thought about anything like that.
Wow, if I could own sunlight, I could charge $1 million a pound, and it would be economical. People would pay that.
I could bottle sunlight for wild. Yeah.
The interior of your sun is a vast X-ray generator. The suns are supported from within by the incessant bombardment of these mighty emanations. It requires more than 1/2 million years for an X-ray stimulated electron to work its way from the very center of an average sun up to the solar surface,
Wow, 500,000 years.
whence it starts out on its space adventure, maybe to warm an inhabited planet, to be captured by a meteor, to participate in the birth of an atom, to be attracted by a highly charged dark island of space, or to find its space flight terminated by a final plunge into the surface of a sun similar to the one of its origin.
Wow.
The X-rays of a sun's interior charge the highly heated and agitated electrons with sufficient energy to carry them out through space, past the hosts of detaining influences of intervening matter, and in spite of divergent gravity attractions, onto the distant spheres of the remote systems. The great energy of velocity required to escape the gravity clutch of the sun is sufficient to ensure that the sunbeam will travel on with unabated velocity until it encounters considerable masses of matter, whereupon it is quickly transformed into heat with the liberation of other energies. Energy, whether as light or in other forms, in its flight through space moves straight forward. The actual particles of material existence traverse space like a fusillade.
Hmm.
They go in a straight and unbroken line or progression,
Procession.
except as they are acted on by superior forces, and except as they ever obey the linear gravity pull inherent in material mass and the circular gravity presence of the Isle of Paradise.
Okay. Objects in motion tend to stay in motion, right?
Mhm. Solar energy may seem to be propelled in waves, but that is due to the action of coexistent and diverse influences. A given form of organized energy does not proceed in waves but in direct lines. The presence of a second or a third form of force energy may cause the stream under observation to appear to travel in wavy formation, just as in a blinding rainstorm accompanied by heavy wind, the water sometimes appears to fall in sheets or to descend in waves. The raindrops are coming down in a direct line of unbroken procession, but the action of the wind is such as to give the visible appearance of sheets of water and waves of raindrops.
Hmm. That's fascinating. So this is
Mhm.
kind of like what? Raindrops are coming. Yeah.
The action of certain secondary and other undiscovered energies present in the space regions of your local universe is such that so far is such that solar light emanations appear to execute certain wavy phenomenon as well as to be chopped up into infinitesimal portions of definite length and weight.
Hmm.
And practically considered, that is exactly what happens. You can hardly hope to arrive at a better understanding of the behavior of light until such a time as you acquire a clear concept of the interaction and interrelationship of the various space forces and solar energies operating in the space regions of Nebanon. Your present confusion is also due to your incomplete grasp of this problem, as it involves the interassociated activities of the personal and non personal control of the master universe, the presences, the performances, and the coordination of the conjoint actor and the unqualified absolute. So there's a lot going on.
So it takes all that to, because you know what, you ask the scientist, you ask your physicist what, you know yeah, how do you understand light, and they really think they know they understand it. you know I think they understand a little bit, but they don't really understand it.
Mhm,
But when you understand a little bit of something, you think you understand the whole thing. you know
mhm,
because they understand that light is emitted by these electrons here moving between energy levels. That's kind of what light is.
mhm.
Okay.
We don't really understand.
But they're talking all this stuff about light weighing and like coming down like raindrops and stuff.
Mhm,
um or why it's wavy.
mhm.
Why it's interacted on by other forces, how it's interacted on by other forces that make it wavy,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
So they're saying it's maybe like not like a wave, but it comes down because it's talking about how it comes down straight,
Well, how it
but
appears
it's
to
kind of
us.
like a wave the way it appears in like a wave formation. Or not, it doesn't appear to our sight like a wave, but they understand like all of radiation is in waves.
Mhm. Well, it appears that way.
No, it doesn't appear that way. I mean, that's what they understand. You look at light. I'm looking at the light coming from the lamp here, right?
Mhm,
And it's like everything's just bathed in light. It's like something that's just there everywhere.
mhm.
You know,
Light travels in a straight line unless acted upon by outside forces.
right? But even the straight line is like a wave that's like has a specific, kind of like wavelength and frequency,
Mhm,
right? And amplitude and wavelength and
mhm,
frequency. I don't know. Uh, I don't know how much of this applies today because there's been developments. This is 100 years ago.
mhm.
Yeah,
We learned a lot.
yeah. Okay. Well, knowledge is pretty much destined to be incomplete mostly.
Mhm,
But how like the conjoint actor and the unqualified absolute is like probability, conjoint actor is like the spirit of like all of creation, kind of. I don't know. Okay, tomorrow we'll read about calcium. Anyway, that's it. Solar
Okay.
radiation, guys. Okay,
Mhm.
dig it. All right.
We'll go out into the solar radiation
Can
today.
go have some solar radiation. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thanks now.
Have a great day.
Bye.